The host that really wanted to induct this next host, unfortunately, was not able to join us due to, well, some personal issues. But he did videotape this next host's induction. The host is Tom Leahy, known as the host, out of Kansas. And Gunther Dedmund, I'm gonna have to kill these lights somehow so thank you, Doc. Recorded this for us, and it's really nice. I want to give you guys a chance to see this. Oh, give me a little light for just a second, please.
This is Gunther Dedmund from the basement Sublet of Horror, and I'd like to greet all of you out there at the Horrorhound weekend. Tonight I'm quite pleased and very proud to induct one of the earliest horror hosts into the Horror Host Hall of Fame. He was simply known as the host. He was portrayed by Tom Leahy Jr., who was an actor, writer, and also producer on the show. The show was called Nightmare, or sometimes The Nightmare with Host and Rodney. It was produced out of Wichita, Kansas, in the late 1950s, actually 1958 to be more precise. Nightmare was one of the first, earliest horror host programs out there, and it was based on the original Shark package. Tom Leahy was well versed in the many roles in theater, radio, and television production. He wrote all the scripts for Nightmare.
Good evening. I suspected that your morbid curiosity would lure you back.
Tom Leahy began his career in radio in the late 40s, early 50s, and he moved on to television where he became a booth announcer. And, well, his creativity and versatility helped him move on to the front of the camera when the station received the Universal Shock package. Tom Leahy's host was the ghoul type of horror host, and actually that's what inspired me to become a ghoul myself. He would play off his sidekick or co-host, Rodney.
Rodney! Don't startle me like that.
And Rodney was played by several people throughout the years, originally by Lee Parsons, then by Jim Herring, and later years was played by John Salem. Another role that Tom Leahy played was that of Major Astro, an afternoon cartoon host who would appear each day in his spaceship landing on a moon base where he would host cartoons such as Astro Boy. And that show also had an extended run on television from the 70s clear up to the 80s, and it was brought back again in the 90s. Tom Leahy also tried his hand at writing science fiction, and he wrote several novels. He also wrote the film The Beast from the Beginning of Time, which he also directed. Tom Leahy was inducted into the Kansas Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2001, and unfortunately, in the year 2010, Tom Leahy passed away at the age of 87, leaving behind an impressive legacy that will be remembered by his fans for years to come. I'd personally like to thank Tom Leahy Jr. for all of the years of entertainment he gave us Kansas, both as the host and as Major Astro. It was really a wonderful experience having him around on television. It was quite an impact on my life, and as a matter of fact, it's the reason why I wanted to become a horror host myself. And so, fellow horror hosts and horror fans and horror hounds, please join me in inducting Tom Leahy Jr., the host from Nightmare, into the Horror Host Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I'd like to thank Jason Hignite and the Horror Host Hall of Fame Selection Committee for bestowing this great honor onto Tom Leahy Jr. This is Gunther Dedmund from the basement Sublet of Horror. I wish I could have been there in person. Good night, my friends.
Tom Leahy Jr.